Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show. It is Thursday, July the 8th. As the countdown to the All-Star break is on. 4 more days of baseball, guys, and then we're at the All-Star break, the midway point of the season, the Midsummer Classic, as they like to call it. And more importantly, and I'm going to make this announcement now, more importantly for me, it's going to be some time away from doing some shows, which I'm actually looking forward to it. I basically bust my ass year round doing this stuff kind of thing. Handicapping, doing shows, writing articles, the whole bit that comes with the job description every day. So to be able to step away for about 7 to 10 days, like I'll do starting on Monday, it'll be nice. It'll be refreshing. I need a mental breather. I need a little break, and this will be the only break and time off I take all year. That this will be it. I'll be back. Ready to go. Late July. August when NFL preseason starts, right through football season, right through NHL and another NBA and another college basketball season. So, but you got to get that one weekend throughout the year to just decompress, and that's what I'm going to do after this weekend. But I'll be back, and I'll still be doing the NBA, by the way, the NBA Pub Hub on days when there's an NBA Finals game. I will still be on that show, even during my little mini vacation, if you will. So. But it is what it is. We'll get that'll be starting on Monday. In the meantime, we've got a card to break down. Conor Mac and our Thursday special guest, Jose Bouquett, joining me. Let's get to it. Our first game on this Thursday slate, it's the Oakland Athletics taking on the Houston Astros. We've got Frankie Montas for the A's, Lance McCullers for the Astros. Houston significant home favorites here, minus 170, total 9. I kind of like the over here a little bit. McCullers, there's some warning signs for McCullers that he could be seeing some regression in the short term. I mean, his ERA is good. His xFIP and FIP a little bit higher. You've got 2 bullpens, by the way, with ERAs hovering around 5 in the last 10 games. And the one thing about both of these pitchers here is that you don't always get length from them. You look at McCullers, 4, 6, 4, 5, and 5 innings pitched in his last 5 starts. You can say the same thing about Frankie Montas. He's really just given you 5, 6, 5.2, 5, and 5.2 in his last 5 starts. So definitely some concerns for seeing a lot of 2 bullpens that are not exactly in great form right now. The lineups are. I think we'll end up some runs being scored in this game. So I'm not involved in the side. By the way, Montas, 4.81 ERA on the road, which isn't great. 6.61 ERA his last 3 starts. So it's been a bit of a struggle for him. It's been a bit of a battle for him really ever since the middle of May. He's been fighting it a little bit. So I think Houston wins the game. I just don't love the price, but I do like the over here a little bit in this one with the A's and the Astros. What do you think here, Conor Mac, Oakland, Houston?
Yeah, the price is a little bit big here, even though McCullers has been really good and really good at home. The Astros, because you got to lay a price if you want them here. So they've kind of bit me if I've taken them first 5, laying a half a run lately, stuff like that. But I lean the Astros here. McCullers hasn't lost a home game, I think, since April. He's 6-1, 2.97. Montas, who was pretty good early, and we all thought he'd probably regress. But still 7-7. Both these teams hit these pitchers pretty well. Even McCullers has got hit by the A's. But I think more of the Astros. I took their team total. I couldn't get one more run yesterday. I was getting plus money there. They got 4. But I think their team total over 4.5. And I got an 8.5, but even 9, I'd go full game over here. You got Brantley, 9 for 27, 2 homers. Correa, 7 for 21, 2 homers. Altuve, 8 for 25 with a jack. Bunch of guys in this Astro lineup hit Montas. They've seen him a lot. So I am on the over with you here.
I like that as well, Connor. I'll be honest with you. I'm on the first 5 over as well. I'm on the first 5 over 4.5. I think that these pitchers, on the surface, they look good. They look like your better pitchers on these staff, but both of these rosters have seen them a lot. There's a lot of familiarity there, and Houston's a hitter-friendly ballpark as well. So I like first 5 over 4.5. Pinnacle right now it's minus 118. Don't love that price, but last start for Montas too was a pretty decent one against the Red Sox. 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 earned runs, and 5 2/3. So, I think these guys are due, like you guys said. I'm not a Lance McCullers guy, really. He's a better pitcher in the playoffs than he is regular season. So give me that first 5 over.
All right, looks like we like the over in some form here. Either Astros team total over, first 5 over, full game over. We're all looking at that in some way, shape, or form here in this game today. Next up, we've got the Colorado Rockies taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Obviously, the bum fight, as Jose called it when we talked about this series on Tuesday. We've got Chichi Gonzalez. You better come home, Chichi Gonzalez, taking on Jake Faria for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Arizona minus 130, home favorites here, total around 9.5 across the board in this one. When you look at it, Chichi Gonzalez has had an odd season because he's had a couple of good starts and he's had some absolutely dismal ones as well. So he's had a little bit of everything. Like he had a good start against Milwaukee, shut him down, gave up only a run. A really good start last time against St. Louis. 2 runs in 7 innings. Might have been one of his best starts. But before that, he got clubbed a bit. 6 runs to the Brewers, 4 runs in 6 innings to the Padres, 8 runs to the Marlins of all teams in just 5 innings. And the one thing I've noticed about Chichi is that 2 good starts in a row is about the max for him. And I haven't seen it on any part of his schedule this year where he's had more than 2 good starts in a row. So I get worried a little bit about that here. He faced Arizona earlier this year, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits in 4.2 innings, wasn't necessarily effective in that game versus the Diamondbacks. On the other side, you've got Jake Faria on the mound here for the Diamondbacks. I don't think much of him. He's made 2 starts. He struggled. He labored significantly against St. Louis. And even though he held them to a run in 4 innings, 3 hits allowed, he constantly pitched out of jams, guys on base pretty much every inning. And then in his last start against the Giants, 4 runs, 7 hits, 4 innings of work. In that game, it was a bad one for him in that start. So neither pitcher I trust a whole lot. And you talk about 2 teams with bullpen issues. Yeah, that would be these 2 teams. The Diamondbacks bullpen stinks. We know that. Been terrible all year. 4.83 ERA their last 10. And even the Colorado bullpen, it hasn't been very good all year either. And in fact, their last 10 games, that bullpen's got a 7.31 ERA. So this is basically the same kind of opinion I have as the last game. I think we see runs scored here today. Colorado, Arizona. I like over 9.5 here. What do you think here, Conor Mac, Colorado, Arizona?
Yeah, Chichi. Not only the Rockies on the road, but you've got Chichi on the road. You talked about he's pitched a little bit better. St. Louis that last start, and the start before that against the Brewers, which is on the road, 5 innings, he gave up 1 run. But his ERA is horrible on the road. I mean, it's tough to back the Rockies, and now you got Chichi's name with it here at only 120. And it's crazy, like you said, bum fight. You know, I lean D-backs. I mean, obviously minus 130 here. I don't love it. I lean that way. And I go with the over, like you talked about. I've waited kind of in-game on these games. The first game stayed under. I thought it would with Kelly. Yesterday there was some runs. I think we see some runs here. I'd probably just wait and in-game bet it, live bet it, because right now you could take the over 9.5. It's minus 120, but I'll just wait.
All right, nothing wrong with that. We've said it all season pretty much here on the MLB Closing Time Show. Those live overs in Arizona games with a miserable bullpen have been like newfound money, like gold at the end, a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, essentially. Jose, what do you think here with Rockies D-backs?
Yeah, nothing really jumped out at me for this game. If anything in this game, I would just take, the Diamondbacks first 5 money line or first 5 minus a half. You're getting plus odds there, but I mean it's so tough that putting your money on the Diamondback is just not a fun endeavor. Never seems like a good time, and then full game just seems like a worse time.
It is, and both teams, each of the runs. Yeah, the Rockies went through a slew of straight games of unders at home. Both these teams are bad. They're at the bottom against right-handed pitching. So that's why I'm saying wait. The bullpens are bad. It's kind of bum on bums. Bad pitching, bad hitting. Throw it up in the air. Just probably stay away if you don't want to get involved here. More games today.
Nothing wrong with that. And the next one, the last, by the way, this is the last of the day games taking place. New York Yankees, Seattle Mariners, Jordan Montgomery, the lefty for the Yankees, and Logan Gilbert for the Seattle Mariners in this one. We've got Yankees minus 130, road favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. The New York Yankees trying to get hot, I guess you could say. They won the finale against the Mets on Sunday night, the second of that doubleheader. And then, of course, they've just clubbed the Mariners 17-5, outscoring them in the first two games of that series. And a disappointing start to the game for our guy, Yusei Kikuchi, last night in that one. Settled down after, but had already given up a little bit too much damage. So do the Yankees have a win streak in them? We'll see, but they have won 3 in a row. It's at least some baby steps in the right direction, if you will, for them. Montgomery on the mound here for the Yankees, 4.17 ERA for him. His last 3 starts, he's actually been pretty decent. 3 runs against the Mets, 3 runs against Boston in 6 innings. That was a pretty solid start. And then 1 run over 5.1 innings against Oakland. And the one thing that concerns me here for this Seattle Mariners team is just how much of a struggle it's been at times for them to hit, particularly against the left-handed side. 218 for the season, 3.9 runs per game against lefties. Logan Gilbert on the mound. He's a bet on pitcher right now for me. We talked about there's a lot of promise, a lot of expectations for him that he could be, 1, 2, 3, top of the rotation kind of pitcher long-term for this Mariners team. And after a little bit of a struggle early on, he's pitched a lot better recently. He's given up just, in his last 8 starts here, he has given up 3 runs or less, 7 of the last 8 starts. The Mariners are on a terrific win streak as well, going 7-0. The Mariners in Logan Gilbert's last 7 starts dating back to May 25th. So the last time the Mariners lost with Gilbert on the mound is May 19th. It feels like Seattle, again, I thought Seattle was a good side last night. Clearly that was not the case. It feels like they could be worth a look again here today. And I like Gilbert. He's a guy I want to back. I would look Seattle or pass with him on the mound. But I don't know. The Yankees look like they may be getting some momentum going. They're starting to hit quite a bit. That may not be something I'm rushing to go against, that momentum right now that the Yankees might be starting to build. So lean here to Seattle. I have not pulled the trigger yet, and I'm not sure I will. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, you got to think the Mariners don't want to get swept here. Home dog, 3rd straight game. Kikuchi just last night gave too much early. They fought back 5-4. Then loss. I won't take the Yankees laying this price on the road. I got to see more of it. And I've been a big backer of Gilbert as well after those first few rough starts. After his major league debut, he's been really, really good. I lean the first 5 under 4.5 here, a little bit, and the Mariners at plus 125. The weird thing with the Mariners, their average is low against lefties, but I think they have a winning record against lefties. They're like 12-8 or something like that. So kind of a strange thing. They haven't scored a ton or hit well, but a winning record. So lean Mariners and lean the first 5 under 4.5 here. All
right. Lean to the Mariners and lean the first 5 under. This feels like it could be lower scoring as well. I would agree with that. Maybe look toward the under. Unfortunately, though, the Yankees, I'm conflicted with that too, because the Yankees have gone 6-1 to the over in their last 7 games. So that's the tricky part with that. Yankees and Mariners, Jose, what do you think?
I love how we're crowning the Yankees again. Let's do it again. Let's get everyone back on the Yankees bandwagon. Let's get everyone excited again. They're winning again. They're back. They're the Bronx Bombers, so then we can bet on them when they play good teams again. So that's what I'm hoping for here. I'm hoping that they sweep them. I think it's interesting. Both teams have never faced each other's pitchers today, and I would say this is, not a I don't know if this is a hot take, I guess, but Jordan Montgomery's been the best pitcher on the Yankees the last couple of weeks. Garrett Cole's been not Garrett Cole, and Montgomery's been pretty solid. I've been a Montgomery fan, I guess, for a little bit. I like the Yankees today, but I really like the under today. I think the under 8.5 minus 108 it should hit. I would love it more if it was at 9. This ballpark is notorious for your no-hitter, low-scoring ball games kind of game. And you guys know I haven't been betting unders much recently. And my best bet today was an under, and I like this as well. So it should be interesting.
Yeah, definitely should. But there's a lot to like right now with the Yankee lineup. Again, they've cracked it open. They've definitely done some really good work the last few days. LeMahieu, Judge is starting to get it going. Gleyber Torres has really been swinging the bat better lately. Even Miguel Andujar, a couple of nice hits for him. So good to see. The lineup starting to produce for the Yankees. Toronto Blue Jays, Baltimore Orioles. We've got Alek Manoah for the Blue Jays, back to the scene of the crime. Remember, he got tossed the last time he pitched here in Camden Yards, which was ridiculous in my mind that he got ejected in that game. Keegan Aiken, the lefty for Baltimore. We've got the Blue Jays here, sizable road favorites, as you would expect, minus 210. The total 10.5. Some 11s also out there, so make sure you shop around for the best line possible. Chance of rain tonight in Baltimore, but not a great chance. So there's still a decent possibility we could get this game going tonight in Baltimore, but it's going to be close because the rain is supposed to move in 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and then it's going to get worse as the night goes on. So that's going to be hit or miss whether we get this game fully completed tonight between the Jays and Orioles. Manoah, 2.7 ERA. Overall for the Blue Jays. He kind of struggled in his one start against the Orioles, but definitely is pitching well for the most part. I mean, that was his worst start. 5 runs, 3.1 innings that day against Baltimore when he got tossed in that game. But since then, 1 run allowed in his last 13 innings of work for the Blue Jays, including a dominant 10 strikeouts against Tampa Bay in his last start, 7 innings of shutout balls. So we know this kid's got the potential to be very good. There's no denying that. I can't say that the opposing pitcher has the potential to be any good. That's Keegan Aiken for the Baltimore Orioles. It's not been good for him as a soft tossing lefty. That's probably not what you want against the Blue Jays. 8 runs, 5 runs, 6 runs, 4 runs in his last 4 starts. All 4 have gone over the total. I would look Blue Jays team total over, though, because I just don't know if I fully trust the Orioles to hit Manoah. Manoah's in really good form. They did hit him the first time. And another thing that worries me, too, is the wind is blowing out, but the rain is in play. And if the rain does get there and we have a delay, that is an overkiller because when the game resumes, they want to get the thing over with. And the bats aren't as patient from the hitters on both sides. So a few concerns here, but I would look at least maybe toward the Blue Jays team total over, if anything, here in this game. You could go with the run line as well, potentially on Toronto. Obviously, the run line cashed in with ease last night in the Blue Jays 10-2 victory. The run line you could get in this game currently at around minus 145. So you're not getting great value with it by any stretch, but definitely would look toward the run line a little bit here, even though the price isn't all that great. By the way, I think we've just had a pitching change. Yes, we have.
Yeah,
for
Tate.
The Baltimore Orioles. Dylan Tate. Yes, we have. I just saw that now. I just refreshed the screen. It went from Keegan Aiken to Dylan Tate. So it's going to be a spot starter for the Baltimore Orioles. So we'll see how that goes. I'd still stick with Jay's team total over. But again, this game is probably going to start. I don't know if it's going to finish because rain will be moving in later in the night at Camden Yards. Conor Mac, what do you think here, Jays Orioles?
Yeah, it looks like rain here. Still, Tate or Aiken, they get ripped. I mean, Vladdy off Tate's 4 for 8 with a homer. A bunch of other guys have hit him well here. Manoah, he's a few guys in that. I think he's pitched just once, and he got ejected. So, but Mullins is 2 for 5 with a homer. Mountcastle has 2 homers off him. Orioles hit him a little bit in one of those starts. I'd lean over. It got there yesterday. And some of these Jays line, I know they lost the first game of the series, but like we talked about yesterday, beat up on them. You might have to go alt line, maybe a minus 2.5 to get, a decent price on the Blue Jays, because even the run line, minus 155, still a lot of juice there. And of course, if they keep scoring, I just don't love 6.5. It's minus 110 too. It's not plus money, the team total over there.
All right, Jose, anything for you here, Toronto, Baltimore?
Yeah, I think this is a stay off. I'll probably stay off because of the rain. I don't know if the game's going to happen, so I'll stay off and we can just move on.
And we will indeed move on to Kansas City and Cleveland. Next up, we've got Danny Duffy, Zach Plesac, the pitching matchup here. Cleveland minus 130 to minus 135 currently as home favorites. 9.5 the total. 9.5, I should say, the total in this game, depending on where you look. Zach Plesac, interesting for him making this a start for the Cleveland Indians. He is a guy that is, when you look at it, making a return from a lengthy stint on the injured list with this team. He hasn't pitched since May 23rd, and he was really struggling and fighting it. A guy that started the season pitching pretty well, but the last 2 starts weren't pretty. 5 runs against the Angels, 5 runs in just 3.2 innings against Minnesota. The hope now is, though, that he's back. He can get back to pitching the way they kind of hope and think he's capable of, because it definitely wasn't very good prior to his stint on the injured list. Broken right thumb is the injury he was dealing with. And now he'll return tonight against Kansas City. And boy, he's owned Kansas City. 1.83 ERA in his career facing the Royals. So done very well against this team. He's kept a lot of these bats in check. Current members of the Royals are only hitting 220 against Zach Plesac. And when you look at most of the big bats on this team, Whit Merrifield, Hunter Dozier, Jorge Soler, and we're talking about a pretty big sample size with all three of those guys against Plesac. They've all been held down by Zach Plesac. So that's probably good news for him. It's just a question now you've been out and haven't pitched for over a month now. How effective are you going to be? Danny Duffy on the mound for the Kansas City Royals. It's also a guy that had an injury stint earlier this season and missed time because of it. You look at his numbers since he's been back. He's made 3 starts against the Yankees, only had 2 innings, didn't give up a run, but struggled with his command a bit, 3 walks, gave up 3 home runs in a rough start to the Red Sox, 4 runs, 5 hits, 3.1 innings. Last start against Minnesota, 2 runs, 6 hits, 4 innings, but 6 hits and 4 innings is a little bit of an alarm bell for me with Danny Duffy. 69 pitches, 2 in 4 innings, so he's kind of not quite gotten it back he hasn't gotten it back on the beam essentially quite yet since returning from the injured list. We've got this Cleveland team that is only hitting 222 and 3.1 runs per game against lefties. So, I don't know if we get Cleveland's offense. I don't know if I can fully commit to them, smashing Danny Duffy here tonight in this game. Now, there are a couple guys that have hit Duffy all right. Franmil Reyes, Ahmed Rosario, Cesar Hernandez actually has some pretty good numbers against Duffy as well. So I lean Cleveland here, but I'm probably going to just stay off. Duffy is still someone I'm monitoring. He's not really fully back on the beam and at his best yet since his return. And obviously, Zach Plesac, your guess is as good as mine what you're going to get from him with him being off for over a month. So not much that I'm going to do with this game in terms of involvement. What do you think, Connor?
Yeah, not much for me either here. I lean the Indians. They're back home and they're good in this spot. What are we getting at Plesac? You talked about it. He was so good early, then he got injured. He's dealing with that thumb injury. And Duffy, who was really good early. The guy's pitching 6 innings every game and well. Since he's come back, he's gone, 2 innings, 3 1/3. He went 4 his last start. What are you going to get out of him? He doesn't seem right either. Just a difficult spot. Yeah, Indians I don't love against lefties, but they're at home. I lean them here a little bit.
Yeah, the whip is what's alarming for Danny Duffy. The 3 starts he's been back, it's either been walks, it's been hits, or it's been both in his start. So he's definitely fighting it still, and we're going to have to see more evidence before we can back him. Jose, what do you think here, Royals and Indians?
Yeah, Danny Duffy's a traffic director. A lot of traffic on the bases, so not a fan of backing him. My honest recommendation would be to wait on this game. And like Connor said earlier about game previously, just put your live betting shoes on. If the Royals are up, maybe Plesac doesn't have a good start on his first start off the DL or IL. You bet when the Royals bullpen comes in, because the Royals bullpen is atrocious. I have a friend who is a Royals fan, and every time they come in, he knows that there goes the game. Here comes some runs. So my recommendation might be wait and see how Plesac does. If the Royals get up early, then go ahead and take your shot against the bullpen.
That's good advice. I think that's definitely an approach you can take going into this game. Detroit. No, what's next up? We got Pittsburgh here. Pittsburgh and New York Mets. JT Brubaker, Taijuan Walker, your pitching matchup here. We've another chance of rain, slight. So be careful, especially if you're going to bet a total in this one with the potential for rain at Citi Field tonight in this game. We've got Brubaker and Walker. The Mets right now minus 200, minus 205 home favorites, 7.5 the total in this game. Brubaker for the Pirates has been, capable at times, 4.09 ERA. It's been, I think, a little bit more erratic for him, though, in recent starts for the Pittsburgh Pirates. For Taijuan Walker, though, 2.44 ERA. This has been the best, I guess you could say, first half of the season he's ever had. He's been terrific for the New York Mets, Taijuan Walker. Really, he was good last year as well. So it's a guy that had a lot of upside back when Seattle drafted him, and he was in that organization. But he's definitely been good. Brubaker has been up and down, but more than anything, he's been victimized by the Pirate lineup not doing much of anything for him, failing to score runs when he pitches. Because look at some of these games he's lost: 3-1, 2-1, 3-2. I mean, he's kept the team in the game, and they just haven't scored any runs for him. That's been the problem for Brubaker in his recent starts. But like I said, for Taijuan Walker, other than, you could say he had a little bit of a rougher outing against Washington on June 20th. Outside of that, it's been just Mr. Consistent. 2 runs or less allowed for Taijuan in 8 of his last 10 starts against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hasn't faced them in a few years. Brubaker has never faced the Mets, so that's always concerning. I find the Mets, when they face a guy for the first time, they don't always have a good plate approach. They don't always swing the bats well. And they get shut out, of course, in the second game of the doubleheader by the Brewers yesterday, 5-0. They're still not exactly lighting it up. 4-4-2, the runs they've scored in their last 3 games. So maybe you can get a first 5 under here in this game with Brubaker and with Walker on the mound. Mets definitely deserve to be favored, but I'm never going to be one that's interested in the Mets at this kind of price, even as much as I like Walker. What do you think here, Conor Mac, Pirates and Mets?
Yeah, I like Walker too, but the price, it's really big here. You'd have to go Mets first 5 or even go run line, and they're just not scored. They're hitting a little bit better. They're getting a little healthier, that lineup, with getting some Conforto, some of those guys back. Brubaker got hit around his last start, but he's one of the guys for the Pirates I do like to back. We'll see. Yeah, both these teams can't hit. The wind's blowing out 12 miles an hour, dead center. Initially, I lean under, but the full game 7.5. The first 5 under 4. Just going a bunch of ways here, so I had to pass.
All right, Jose, anything for you here with Pittsburgh and the New York Mets?
I think I'm going back to my favorite baseball underdog, the Pittsburgh Pirates. I love doing this.
Them a lot. I noticed that. Yeah, as a dog.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I don't know what it is. I love betting the Pittsburgh Pirates first 5. JT Brubaker, ace? No. Good pitcher, yeah. He's a solid pitcher. We'll take his contributions. Taijuan Walker also has had a great year this year. I like that first 5 under, but I'm setting my sights on the Pirates first 5 -0.5. I think they can get it done. I think they can scratch across a run. Brubaker have a good start. Plus 200 seem pretty high to me, so I'm on the Pirates today. I like the Pirates first 5 -0.5.
All right, Pirates up first 5 innings. There you go. Taking a shot here with the Pittsburgh Pirates in the first 5, Jose, and he's done this with the Pirates before, so we'll see if they can reward him. Phillies and the Cubs, we've got even money here, both sides. Zach Eflin, Adbert Alzolay, the pitching matchup in this one. Even money -110, 7.5 the total, shaded to the under. Even with the wind blowing in, another slugfest, at Wrigley Field last night. But finally, the Cubs on the winning end of a baseball game, snapping what was a dreadful 11-game losing streak, and they beat the Phillies 8-3 last night. It's really unbelievable. 2 of the bets last night for me, and they're both sides, Seattle and Philly. Wheeler is unhittable for starts in a row. Same with Kikuchi, and they both get blasted early in the game last night. That's baseball sometimes, yeah. Baseball. And it happened last night with Wheeler, and in that one. But a huge win for the Mets. For the Cubs. Goes without saying how much that was a big win for them. However, keep an eye on their lineup situation tonight, because you're dealing with Chris Bryant, who had a hamstring injury suffered last game, and may not be in the lineup tonight. Javi Baez, missed the last game with a right thumb sprain, so he may not be back in the lineup tonight either for the Cubs. You could be down 2 of their more prominent hitters. Good thing for them is that Nico Horner just came back from the injury list, and he's actually a pretty good hitter for that Cub team. So that's good, but Bryant and Baez both questionable for tonight for the Cubs. And I'm going to wait on that because, believe it or not, when I look at this matchup, I am considering the Cubs here. because I like backing teams when they finally snap a losing streak, and sometimes you get rhythm, momentum from it. Look at even the Yankees, hopeless for weeks. They finally beat the Mets in the second game of the Subway Series doubleheader Sunday, and they've reeled off 2 straight wins against Seattle since then. I feel the Cubs could go on a bit of a run. And don't forget their home record is still pretty good overall this year, 27-15. That's where they've done all their damage. Alzolay's got a 3.86 ERA at home, which is solid. I know the last few starts have been mediocre for him, but now he's back home where he's comfortable, where he pitches his best. So I could see him having a good outing. Phillies have never seen Alzolay either, which is probably good news for Alzolay for success. Zach Eflin on the mound here for the Philadelphia Phillies, 4.13 ERA overall. Not good on the road. We've talked about that a lot. 5.71 ERA on the road for Eflin. 1-8. The Philadelphia Phillies in 9 road starts this year for Zach Eflin. So it's Cubs or pass for me. First 5 full game split is definitely what I'm looking to bet here. But again, I'm waiting. I want to make sure this lineup is at full strength. We've got Chris Bryant may not be in there. Javier Baez may not be in there. Those are 2 important key bats to this lineup. So I want them in the lineup, preferably before backing the Cubs. I lean Cubs, but we'll see who's in the lineup tonight. What do you think, Connor?
Yeah, we'll see with Alizé. He's a lot better on the road. I mean, at home than on the road. I just think of Eflin. Eflin on the road, Eflin on the road. He's horrible. His last start against the Mets was good, but all year he's gotten pounded. The Cubs don't hit righties, though. Difficult spot here. I lean the first 5 under 4 a little bit. Wind's blowing in again. There might not be those bats in the lineup. Just a tough one for me. I lean under. I don't really have a side. I'd lean the Cubs just a little bit at -110 at home.
All right, Jose, anything here, Phillies, Cubs?
I'm done with the Phillies. I have written off the state of Philadelphia, the Phillies, all of them. I'm done with them. My best play yesterday was Phillies first 5. Zach Wheeler, you're a bum. I can't stand it. I can't stand Philadelphia, the Sixers, the Phillies. They all cost me money in some way or another. So I'm done with the Phillies. I don't like the Cubs either, but I do like your theory of we've lost all these games in a row, so let's start winning some in a row. So I like that. Cubs aren't awful, but again, we need them to lose for trade deadline purposes. So let's hope that they start losing again.
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely we'll see how it goes. The Phillies, that was a Phillies on the road now. And like I say, I'm looking for every reason to back the Cubs, but I want to make sure that they've got their lineup at least as close to as full strength as possible. When you're talking about no Bryant, no Baez, you're talking about two gaping holes that you got to fill in this lineup. So we'll see what the lineup looks like closer to first pitch. Cincinnati and Milwaukee, Tyler Mahle, Adrian Hauser, the pitching matchup here in this division rivalry. Milwaukee, it's pretty much even money, -110 both sides, 8.5 the total in this game. Cincinnati Reds starting to go on another hot streak here. They slumped a little bit, but now they're playing good ball again, 6-1 in their last 7 games, swept the Cubs at home. And 2 of 3 from Kansas City, and the one game they lost, they should have won because the bullpen melted down. So, they actually could be set. They could be a team that they should have won 7 in a row coming into this game. But they're definitely turning it around, playing a good ball at the moment. And Tyler Mahle on the mound for the Reds here, pitching pretty solid for the most part. The team is 6-2 in his last 8 starts. Last time out against the Cubs, 2 runs, 5 hits, 5 innings. He was roughed up a little by the Braves before that, but still, for the most part, it's been a solid year for Mahle. 2.01 ERA for him, by the way, on the road. 12-5 in his 17 starts overall. Cincinnati, 8-2 in Tyler Mahle's 10 road starts this year. So he's pitched really well on the road. And the Reds have been winning with him on the road here going into this matchup. Adrian Hauser for the Brewers, 3.96 ERA for him. He has faced the Reds twice this year, one pretty good start, and then one awful start where he gave up 6 runs in only 4 innings, and they lost that game. So which is it going to be here for Adrian Hauser against the Reds? Last year he faced them twice. He also struggled against the Cincinnati Reds, and you look at some of these numbers for the Reds hitters against Adrian Hauser, it's not really anything to love. Jesse Winker, 9 for 16, 5 home runs. You got to be kidding me. You can't turn that down tonight. Jesse Winker home run prop against Adrian Hauser. 4 for 11, 1 home run for Votto against him, 364 average, 5 for 15 and 2 jacks for Eugenio Suarez, and a 333 average against Hauser. Nick Castellanos, the Greek stallion, 6 for 17, 1 home run and 353 average against Adrian Hauser. I mean, those are right there. Your top 4, 5, 6 hitters on this Reds team, and they've all not just hit Hauser, they've crushed him in the past. So Reds first 5, Reds full game, and Reds team total. They all make sense to me, and this team's hitting the ball right now. So you like the way their offense is rolling at this point in time. You look at during this streak, they've scored 5, 6, 6 in the last 3 games. Before that, held down a little by the Cubs, 3-3-2, 5 against San Diego. Before that, 5-4, 12. The Cubs series, they didn't hit as much, but boy, they've just had a lot of success torturing Adrian Hauser. So it would be Reds in various ways for me. First 5 full game. And the team total is probably the one I like the most. You can get the Reds team total in this one currently at 4.5 with a plus price, though. So I like that quite a bit. What do you think, Conor Mac, Reds and Brewers?
Yeah, I don't know if you could find a 3.5. It's probably a lot of high juice, but yeah, the 4.5 at plus money. You mentioned Hauser had one good start this year, but he's just gotten pounded by this Reds team. I'm just going to stick to first 5. The Brewers got the better bullpen here. So I'm just going to go Reds first 5, -110. And I lean that team total. They're starting to swing it better. And I love all those stats you ran through. I was going to run through them. Winker, everybody, Castellanos. So I like the team total as well.
All right, Jose, what do you like here, Reds, Brewers?
Nothing. I don't like anything. Honestly, I've just been talking to the chat this whole time, and the chat's on fire today. It started off with a lot of talk about my hair, and then my shitty mustache, which I don't know if you guys know this, but on Jimmy's show, I cannot shave until I have a winning week on that show. And currently, there's also, as you guys know, a game going on. We've got yeah, I know it is. But we've got Dodgers Marlins going on right now. Turnsy, our man in the chat, has the first 5, or Dodgers first 5 -0.5. Its bases loaded now, no outs. I have the under 7.5 as my play of the day in that game. So now I'm watching this game eagerly, just hoping for Turnsy that we get a nice little single, and then we get a triple play for my Marlins. So this is
Sandy Alcantara's in trouble. Yep.
Yeah, no, Sandy's in trouble. I would have not maybe left him out there with 97 pitches to start off this, or to have this inning right now. But I don't know. Let's see what my man Don. Oh well, never mind. He's got a base hit. So there's Turnsy. There's your runs, and Mookie Betts does not score. So the bases are still loaded, no outs. But now we're getting some live commentary as well.
Yep. There you go. That's a Beatty there with that hit. When Beatty is starting to drive in runs for you, I mean, that's when the Dodgers get scary. I mean, when they can get that kind of production. So, we know the Dodgers, when that lineup's on, they're torture for opposing teams. But looks like they could crack that one open against the Marlins right now. Next up, we've got Detroit and Minnesota. Speaking of cracking someone open, J Happ's getting cracked repeatedly this season for the Minnesota Twins. Hapless J Happ on the mound. Tariq Skubal for Detroit. We've got Minnesota here, -125 home favorites, 9.5 the total in this one. I can't say I love the over in this game, but I'm at the point now where I just bet it mechanically, automatically when J Happ's on the mound. You just have to. He's now gone over the total of 12 straight starts, I believe, 12-0 to the over now in his last 12 starts. Most of it is because he's been awful, and the one team has hit him significantly. I think we're going to see more damage here against J Happ from this Tigers team. I think Detroit can do some damage. It's been absolutely abysmal for J Happ. There's no sugarcoating it. 6.09 ERA. It's been terrible for him. He doesn't even have a great track record against the Tigers. Against the Tigers, he's got a 4.97, almost a 5 ERA against the Detroit Tigers. So that ain't any good either. It's just been a rough go for him coming into this outing tonight. Donaldson's missed the last 4 games with a hamstring injury, but might return to the lineup tonight for this Twins team. So that would be good news for them coming into this outing. But again, with J Happ, the numbers don't lie. We know he has been brutalized, and that's the way it's been. 6.09 ERA this season. You look at it, this over streak has been incredible against the Tigers. I don't trust him here. He's faced them once this year, way back in April 6th. 1 run, 3 hits, 4 innings, 3 walks. He labored in that game. No, not a guy I trust here against this Tigers team. Tigers team that you look at their offense, lately, it's been capable. Look at what the Tigers have done. Look at the way they're playing. Their last 7 games, they're 5-2, and they've scored 7, they've scored 11, they've scored 6, 7, 5, 5. This lineup's putting some runs on the board right now. Detroit, last 10 games against lefties, 287, average, 10 runs per game, 10 runs per game in the last 10 games against lefty pitching for the Detroit Tigers. On the flip side, you've got Skubal for the Tigers on the mound. Minnesota does hit lefties pretty well lately, 283 average, 5.4 runs per game. I do like Skubal's form. Right now, he's pitched pretty well for the most part. Last start against the White Sox, they got him a little bit, 5 runs in 5 innings, but White Sox terrorized lefty pitching. Before that, he had been pitching well. And look, the Tigers are winning with Skubal. 4 straight starts by Skubal. They've won all 4. Tigers are 6-1 in Skubal's last 7 starts coming into this outing. And actually, believe it or not, even though he's pitched well, for most of his recent starts, they've actually gone over in 4 of his last 5 starts. So this is one of those games. This is a game where I've got like 4 bets on it. One game. Got Tigers first 5, Tigers full game, Tigers team total over, and the full game over, 9.5. So we're going wild on this game a little bit. Detroit first 5, Detroit full game, Detroit team total over, which you can get 4.5 even money, and the full game over, which is 9.5 here in this one. What do you think here, Conor Mac, Detroit, Minnesota?
Yeah, Scubal's been better. I got 2. I don't have 4 here. I like the Tigers first 5 at the price at plus 105, and I think you got to take the over 9.5 full game. I'll go full game because both bullpens are bad. I mean, you could look at first 5. And one thing, I think DC had it on there. I mean, even in Happ's wins, they've been scoring runs when he's pitched. So the Twins have been hitting. He's been giving up runs. So then just continues with the over. So, yeah, I'm on Tigers first 5. I don't want that bullpen plus 105 and the over 9.5 full game.
By the way, final scores in these tap starts, the last 10, 7-4, 8-2, 7-5, 10-0, 7-5, 6-5, 6-5, 8-5, 16-4, 13-8. I think they've all been double-digit runs. Yeah, not a single one has been a single-digit run game. And all you need is double-digit runs. You cash your over here. So I think we get there over the total. We get to 10 at least. Jose, what do you think? Tigers, Twins?
For first, I'd like to give Big Show the floor so he could talk his Tiger shit real fast. Big Show, do you have anything you want to say about the Tigers?
Just that we're coming, baby. We're coming. I hope we end up just being a 500 team by the end of the year. That's all I hope for. We're playing really well right now. We're winning series, which is key. But, yeah, I like them today, too. I like Ian's first 5 and full game.
Well, let's get the boys fired up a little bit, too. I like the Tigers a lot today. J.A. Happ is terrible. I saw Yankees fans on my Twitter timeline asking for J.A. Happ back, and that's when I knew that Yankees fans have hit their rock bottom. He is so bad. I'm taking Detroit Tigers alternate run line minus 1.5. Minus 1.5 for the Tigers today. It is at 172, plus 172 on Pinnacle currently. I like the Tigers today. I think they roll. J. Happ is terrible. And another live update. I said in the chat, if the Dodgers hit a grand slam, that I would lose my mind. About 2 seconds later, I'm not sure who it was, but someone just came oh so close to hitting a grand slam. Warning track fly out, which almost saw me leave the screen for a moment. But it is now 3-1 Dodgers, 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Man on first and third.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, that was. I've got the game on. That was right to the wall almost. So, yeah, Tigers, it looks like. And that, like I said, I've got the Tigers 3 ways, the first 5 full game and the team total. And we're also looking full game over as well. So, we all think they will smash. they will smash J Happ and a crazy carom in that Dodger.
What a fucking brutal base! Oh my gosh, how brutal is that? That's a great hit, but just right off the base. So fucking tough.
Yeah. Hey, it's a game of luck sometimes. It's not so much how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it. How many times have we said that in baseball? It's where
hit them where they
hit
ain't.
the ball. Yeah.
Hit them where they ain't. Yep.
Yeah, no question. So we're down to our last games. And before we get to our final game on the card here, Padres and Nationals, 7th inning stretch. Shout out to everyone in the chat, 150 plus strong, joining us here for the MLB Closing Time show. Williams Fun Videos, thank you for the kind words. Great show, guys. Good info. Javier Gonzalez, not applicable. Turn Z, as always, joining us. Not applicable. Vegas Bruce. DC, Javier Gonzalez, MMA Locker Room, excellent turnout. Druvinsky, there we go, I like that name. Anthony Imbrogno, Abel Alvarez, Gerardo Coronado, impressive. John Roy, DC, Hansel Matos, excellent turnout here as always. We thank every one of you for joining us here on this Thursday edition of the MLB Closing. Sam Calmer. Cheshire Cat has now just joined us, so there you go. Good stuff. Brian Watson, thanks again to everybody joining us here on the MLB Closing Time show live. Let's get to our last game here. It is the Washington Nationals and the San Diego Padres. We've got Scherzer taking on Yu Darvish here for the Padres. San Diego here currently modest favorites, minus 140. Home favorites, 7 the total in this game. The Nationals have certainly given the Padres a tough series so far. They battled this Padres team pretty well. Of course, last night they get the huge blowout win, 15-5. And credit to Conor Mac, who said on the show yesterday, I don't trust that guy further than I can throw him, Mr. Chris Paddock. And boy, he got they have to put padding, around him after that game to avoid anybody throwing shit at him, angry Padres fans, because that was not a good outing for him. He got roughed up significantly last night, only lasted 2 innings. So Yu Darvish will try to be the slump buster, if you will, for the Padres tonight. 2.12 ERA for him at home, 9-2 in his 11 home starts for the Padres. For Darvish, coming off a little bit of a down start for him against Philadelphia in his last outing, 4 runs, 6 hits, and 6 innings in that game. But here at home, he's been pretty good for the most part. 1 run against Arizona at home, 1 run in 6 innings against the Dodgers at home, 2 runs in 7 innings against the Cubs at home. The home numbers have been magnificent. 1 run, 7. What the hell are the Marlins doing here? We'll get to that in a second. 1 run, 7 innings for the against Seattle at home. Shut out the Rockies in 7 innings at home. So I just don't like going against Darvish at home, and especially here when you've got this bounce back spot here against the Nats. Scherzer on the mound for the Nationals. Usually this is an attractive price with Scherzer, and he's coming off a terrific outing in his last start against this same Padres team. 6 hits, shutout, 7 innings. Maybe the Padres, though, they make their adjustments. We'll see. Keep in mind, though, Scherzer's been out for a while. Scherzer, we'll see how he goes here, but he's 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 5 starts now where he's given up 1 run or fewer. So it's tough. Part of me says there's a great price to be getting Scherzer. 1 run or fewer allowed in 5 straight starts. The other side says it's the Padres in a bounce back spot at home where they played well. Darvish has pitched well at home. So it's a really tough game for me to back either side because I want to back both, and I'm not going against either with the way these matchups shape up. So it's a pass for me in this game. Conor Mac, what do you think? Nationals, Padres?
Yeah, Darvish has been really, really good at home. His last start, you think he'd bounce back to, gave up 4 runs in Philly. I lean the under 3.5 a little bit, first 5. Of course, I want a 4. And 3.5s haven't been great for first 5 unders for me lately. But with these 2 pitchers, I think you look that way. I also lean the Nats, first 5. You don't get Scherzer at a plus price too often. We had it, 2 starts ago? Forget who he was facing. Maybe the Dodgers. They imploded late, but he got the first 5. So give me the Nats, first 5, plus 115. I lean the under here, first 5.
All right, lean to the under. First 5 here for Conor Mac. Jose, any thoughts here with Nationals Padres?
Yes, I actually have thoughts on this one. I've collected myself from the unbelievable scenes we're seeing in Miami right now. Connor, I'm actually going to go head-to-head with you here. I don't know. I don't remember how our last head-to-head went, but I'm going to take the first 5 over 3.5. I think obviously we see that both these pitchers are great. I mean, I can't really make an argument for you about these pitchers being bad, but I think both these offenses are good enough to scratch across. 3.5 is a low number. Max Scherzer has been known to give up the long ball. We all know those issues. And you, Darvish, maybe a little rattled from not being an all-star or whatever. I mean, he's going to be an all-star, but he's not going to be one after the start, I think. He's not probably going to make the all-star game, whatever. But I think the first 5 over here, 3.5, would be my play. Like I said, Connor, I'll love to go head-to-head with you. I'll probably lose, but I like doing it, Connor. I like giving yourself a little bit of challenge.
Real quick, Padres haven't hit Scherzer at all, but Myers has a couple homers. Machado, guys are like 5 for 34 off him. The best guy, Hosmer, 11 for 43 with a jack as well. But not too many bats, but little better looks from the Nats off Darvish.
Then yeah, that's definitely the way it's gonna have to be too. It's not gonna be like singles galore off of Max Scherzer. He's too good for that. It's gonna be a bloop and a blast for sure.
Yeah, definitely. This is a great pitching match. This is the latest game of the night. Last game, I think it's by itself too, because the other games are all 8 p.m. Eastern or earlier. This game's at 9:10 p.m. Eastern, all by itself. The last game on the card. And it's a great pitching matchup. And think about Scherzer. Scherzer has given up 1 run or less going back to the end of May. He's given up 2 runs or less going back to the end of April in every start. Think about that. The end of April. That's a long time ago. And he's given up 2 runs or less in every start since that time. Outstanding for Max Scherzer. That's why it's tough. I mean, I don't want to go against Darvish in this spot, bounce back off a loss at home where he's pitched great. 9-2 they are at home with him, but that's hell of a price for a guy pitching as well as Scherzer at the same point in time.
I have a question for you guys real fast. Do you guys, trade deadline's coming up. Max Scherzer, free agent next year. Is he going to get traded, do you guys think, real quick?
I could see that because the Nationals aren't in a contending spot. They're not even remotely close to being a playoff team as of right now, unless they go on a crazy run where they might entertain it, trying to keep them around I think if the season continues to go downward and they're out of it, they'll explore that. They should. Because look, this is the height of value for Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer is going to be, guess what, next year? He's probably not going to be as good as he was this year. Guess what? In 2 years from now, he's probably not going to be as good as he was this year or next year. So, now's the time if you're going to get value back to help your organization long term. It's going to be a long shot, I think, for you to get in the playoffs here. If you're Dave Martinez and the Nationals, why not explore the possibility if the season doesn't end well, and try to get some value back? I think they should. I don't know if they would. Now the question is, what do I think they should do, or what do I think they're going to do? What I would do is trade them. What I think they're going to do, I'm not as sold on it, but I think they should. I think they will if they have a season that's well out of the playoffs.
Yeah, the issue is since he's on that free agency deal next year, the teams probably aren't going to give out a top 10 prospect in their organization for a rental. So we'll see what happens. I mean, as you guys can tell, I'm a big baseball transactions guy. I want the trade deadline to be interesting. I love when trades happen. So I need these teams to start losing, and I need someone to start overpaying, because I honestly don't think he will get traded. I think the Nationals will just be just ride it out. He's been the best pitcher probably of our organization's history. Best free agent deal ever signed. So they might just ride it out, but I hope not.
Yeah, they're definitely interested to see what ends up happening there. Max Scherzer, who's, of course, been with the Nationals now for quite a while. Will he be on the move? We'll wait and see. But great stuff with Jose and Connor. We have gotten through the Thursday card. We will get to best bets. We will get to Jack of the Day as well in just a second. But first, we'll pause for Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101, San Antonio, Texas. If you're in town, to stop in, have a bite to eat, some drinks, like music, DJs, karaoke there as well. Southtown 101, Manscaped, promo code Pub Sports. Get 20% off your purchase of the all-new Lawnmower 4.0 or any product by using promo code Pub Sports. And mybookie.ag, as Jose works on his directional aptitude. Mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. NFL, college football right around the corner. NHL is over, ending last night with the Tampa Bay Lightning winning the Stanley Cup, but NBA Finals just getting underway. We've got the Open Championship, last major golf of the year next week. Plenty to get involved with. Get yourself ready for football. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit there. So mybookie.ag, set up an account there and use the promo code PubSports. All right, it is time for Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
All right, Jack of the Day time. Not a huge day for me for Jack of the Day in terms of what I like, other than obviously a lot of those Reds against Hauser. It's one of those days you load up on Winker. You could look Naquin, you could look Votto, you could look Suarez, all those guys against Adrian Hauser of the Brewers. So definitely a couple to look at there in that game. Other than that, you could go with James McCann of the Mets against Brubaker, who's hit him for a couple of home runs. I like that a little bit. I like a couple of Jays again. Teoscar Hernandez, Bo Bichette, Simeon, Vlad. You go with a bunch of them against Tate and the Orioles. I wouldn't argue with that. You could go with Pavin Smith and against Chichi Gonzalez. I wouldn't mind that as well. And other than that, Correa, Altuve, and Brantley have each hit a home run against Montas. That game is just about to start, so those are good ones as well. Connor, any home run props for you today? Jack of the Day.
Yeah, you went through them all there. Yeah, the Reds, Winker, Suarez, Vladdy was a good one. Maybe the Orioles, Mountcastle. I mean, small success, but a couple of homers and 4 at bats. Those guys, Trey Mancini, maybe look for an Oriole. Yeah, that was about it. And the Astros, which real quick, the game's going to start. I'm on the over. It's not my best bet, but I'm playing that over 9. I think they hit Montas, Correa, Brantley. All these guys hit a ton of home runs. Tucker, off him.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, the Orioles are lineup. Their pitching's terrible, but look, Mountcastle and Cedric Mullins, one of the better leadoff hitters in baseball. Austin Hayes, Trey Mancini, Mullins. Anthony Santander. I mean, they've got a decent lineup, and they can hit, no question. That's not been their issue. Is offense. It's been pitching for Baltimore. Jose, I know home run props. You may not have any. If not, best bet.
Jack of the Day, I mean, Jesse Winker is so much of a Jack of the Day that it's a full unit play, not a half unit play. I mean, it's kind of crazy. 9 hits, 5 home runs, and 16 at bats off of Hauser. That's crazy.
Yep.
That's what you call having your number. My other guy, Connor, I'll go along with your over here. Carlos Correa. Before the game starts, get him in. 2 home runs off of Frankie Montas. He just announced today that he's not going to be going to the All-Star game. So I can see, like I said, he's that guy. He's a thrill-of-the-moment kind of guy. So I'll take Carlos Correa, too. Best bet of the day. I'll open this up. I had one, the Yankees, Seattle, under 8.5. I was really looking at it. But then, I'm looking down. I see my good friend Big Show here. And I'm going to do this for you, Big Show. Alternate run line. Detroit minus 1.5, plus 172. Detroit gets it done. Let's go, Big Show. Me and you, we're riding. Hey, there we go. Hey,
yep. Minus 1.5 at a big plus price for Jose Bouquett for the best bet alternative run line. And I think that is not a bad value sprinkle, given the fact the Tigers are playing good ball, better ball, and J-Hap's in absolutely hapless form for the Twins. So Detroit Tigers run line for Jose with best bet. Conor Mac, what do you like for best bet?
I like their team total, but just give me first 5. I think all those numbers with the Reds, don't take a half a run, anything. It's just minus 110. Give me the Reds first 5 minus 110 over the Brewers.
All right, Cincinnati Reds first 5 minus 110 against the Milwaukee Brewers. Best bet for Conor Mac. on this card. Mine is going to be, I'm trying to see here. I'm going to go with Colorado, Arizona. Let's go over 9.5 with them. I like that one. Faria is not very good. All right. I'm shocked he's back in a rotation again, but that tells you where Arizona is with their starting staff. And Chichi Gonzalez on the road's been dreadful. The total's reasonable here, 9.5. Two really, really, really porous bullpens as well. That neither you can trust to slam the door shut in the latter innings. So Colorado, Arizona, over 9.5. This one starts in about an hour and a half. That will be my best bet for this Thursday MLB card. That'll wrap up this edition of the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show. We thanks to everyone in the chat. Hit that like button on your way out. Make sure you do that if you like the show. We will be back tomorrow. Later today, of course. No, we got NBA Finals Game 2 later today, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, NBA Pub Hub. Man, it's going to be a full house. It's going to be me, Connor, Dutch, Ski, Trotwam, and we're going to have Billy Briz joining us as well. So it's going to be a full house, a six-pack of analysts for you on the NBA Pub Hub to help you break down Game 2 of the NBA Finals, Milwaukee and Phoenix. So join us in a couple hours for that. For Conor Mac and our special guest, Jose Bouquett, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you in a couple hours for the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio.